On this episode of med-surg Moments,
I am still in school.
Got our first big snowfall. A couple other Thanksgiving miracles happened.
Sydney, you need to tell us how your dress shopping went in New York City.
yes, I did go wedding dress shopping at Kleinfeld's in New York City, and
I entered a giveaway like the beginning of the year, and I actually was the grand prize winner. So I won.
At work, I've actually had the opportunity to fill the role of like an interim manager.
How to overcome the holiday nursing blues.
it sucks for the patients and the families to be in the hospital around the holidays too, but the staff are also missing time with their family.
Let me tell you, Sydney, here's my holiday survival tactic.
So last year, I decided
I would get to at least have a plate before I would leave for night shift. But walking out of that door, man, it would break my heart. Everybody cozy. Anytime I just really did not want to leave my family.
This is Mary Tess.
Sam.
Eric.
Marcella.
LA.
And Sydney. Welcome to med-surg Moments, the AMSN podcast.
This podcast is an engaging look at the lives of and surrounding medical surgical nurses.
We're proud med-surg nurses just like you, sharing our stories, insights, and experiences to support you in your nursing journey.
Our topic today is the most timely one: how to overcome the holiday nursing blues. But before we get started, let's begin with some personal updates. Eric, why don't you get us started?
Hi, everybody. I am still in school, chugging along. Things are working out pretty great. I am getting back into the flow at work. It started to get really cold here in California. I think it dropped down to the 60s. Getting our winter clothing out now. How about you, Marcella?
Well, here in Chicago, we got our first big snowfall. And so we made the first snowman of the season. My little ones, they're 4 and 6. They're like, we want to play in the snow. We want to go outside. By the time we're all dressed, it's only 4 p.m. and it was like dark. I had to shine some spotlights. You never know if it's going to melt the next day. So we just went for it anyway. And we were freezing our butts off, but we did it. We made a big giant snowman, all of us together. And he's still out there. And snow's still coming down. So we'll maybe get to make some more family members for Mr. Snowman. We also just had a whole week off for Thanksgiving. And I am so grateful for that. It used to, only be like the end of the week off for the kids. And we got a whole week off for the first time ever. And I love not doing school drop-offs for 5 days in a row. Oh my gosh, that felt like a vacation for me. All of us being home for so many days, my teenager, the 3 little ones, my husband works from home. So even though he didn't have the days off, we were all in the house. It made me daydream of homeschooling my kids. I will not do that. I know I'll regret it as soon as I withdraw everyone from school if I did that, because then we'd all just hang out eating snacks all day. I'd treat it like a vacation if we did homeschooling. But it was a nice little pretending that nothing else in the world exists for a whole week. A couple other Thanksgiving miracles happened. My last 2 shifts, I only had 4 patients. I was appropriately staffed. I would get on the shift and look at my assignment, and I actually wouldn't say it out loud. I wouldn't look at how many patients the other nurses have, and I wouldn't say anything about it out loud because, we're very superstitious on the nursing units. If you say anything out loud, all of a sudden you're getting an admission right now. So I would just look at it, take a breath, try to enjoy it. And I felt like I had the appropriate amount of time with each of my patients. At the end of my shift, I did not feel like I failed anyone. And it was truly something that I was thankful for this Thanksgiving. Sam, how have you been doing?
I've been doing really well. It's definitely getting a little more wintry where I'm at up here in the northwest region of our country. So just kind of getting prepped for living through that and all the Christmas stuff going on. At work, I've actually had the opportunity to fill the role of like an interim manager. And so that has definitely been a super steep learning curve. It's been going on about 2 months now, and I still feel overwhelmed most days, but trying to learn all the things and obviously growing such a deep appreciation for anybody in a manager position because it is not easy. Sydney, you need to tell us how your dress shopping went in New York City.
Yes, I did go wedding dress shopping at Kleinfeld's in New York City, and I got a dress. It's actually a really sweet story. I'll try to give kind of the short version because it's kind of a complicated story. When I went dress shopping home in Virginia, I had found a dress that I loved, but I had already had the appointment at Kleinfeld's in New York. So I was like, well, I can't cancel that. I have to go. It's Kleinfeld's. So the night before, I was talking to my mom and I was like, what if it's like the show where they call a designer and they get the dress? Because we had called ahead of time and they didn't have the dress that I liked from the Virginia store. My mom's like, yeah, haha, like that's funny. So the next day, we're at the appointment. It's going really well, but there wasn't anything that kind of gave me like, this is the one reaction like I had with the previous one. And then I was in the back with the consultant and it was getting towards the end of the appointment. And she was like, I think your mom was trying to tell me something the last time we were in the room. I'm going to go check what she said. So she leaves and then she comes back with my mom and she has the dress from the Virginia store. My mom had called and because they carry that designer, they were able to reach out to the designer and get the dress there to the store for my appointment specifically. So I tried it back on and I was like, yep, this is still it. This is still the one. It was a really sweet, emotional moment with my mom that I'll just never forget. Also, personal update, I was supposed to be starting my next class, but because of that darn government shutdown, I didn't have the funding from my work, so I had to take a pause on classes. But thankfully now the shutdown's over and I can reapply for funding. So my nursing theory class that I was supposed to start like 2 months ago, that's on my to-do list is to resubmit for funding. But it's been a nice break, enjoying the holiday season, so I'm probably going to wait till after the new year to start and just continue to enjoy the holidays. Calais, what about you? What's new with you?
I entered a giveaway like the beginning of the year, and I actually was the grand prize winner. So I won a free trip to New York City. Indeed sponsored this Healthcare Off the Clock. They actually selected about 50 healthcare professionals from all around the world. We stayed in the heart of Times Square. We were able to network with different healthcare professionals. I met so many CEOs, leaders, directors, occupational therapists, PT, speech. They had breakout sessions, talked to us about workplace joy. We are nurses. We are healthcare professionals. We deserve to be happy in our workspaces. We did yoga sessions. They had spas, facials, toured the city. We went to the Empire State Building. We were able to take pictures and just have a really great 4-day, 3-night vacation away from it all. And I was just so blessed to be able to be a recipient of this experience. So I'm just coming back from it. After that, y'all, I think this topic is so timely going into our topic today since I worked the holidays during the Thanksgiving break. So why don't we go ahead and move into the topic? How to overcome the holiday nursing blues. If you ever stared at the schedule and felt your stomach drop or dreaded that you working again, questions from your family members. Today's episode, we're sharing practical ways to protect your mood, set kind boundaries, create small moments of joy at work, and still feel connected to loved ones before, during, and after the dreaded holiday shift. So who would like to get us started?
I can start because I was out to dinner with some friends on Friday and we were literally talking about the holiday blues of working in the hospital. And I was like, oh my gosh, they don't even know we're talking about this on the podcast next week. I was so excited. So I kind of got their perspective of what would make it better for them. And they were saying that nursing is a thankless job. It always has been, always will be. And the camaraderie of being there with your coworkers is great. And the potlucks help, but The one thing that they were saying is that not that anyone ever expects a thank you, but it would be nice for patients or family members or someone to just acknowledge that we're also there. It sucks for the patients and the families to be in the hospital on the holidays too, but the staff are also missing time with their family. They're also going home and sleeping while their kids are opening presents. It'd be nice to hear a thank you from someone other than your other coworkers or management or whoever. So that was just a point that my friends had made that I wanted to share.
Let me tell you, Sydney, here's my holiday survival tactic. You just call in and you don't go.
YOLO.
That's how you survive. People are like, I didn't get the schedule I wanted. I said, well, then start coughing the day before. No, I get it. You know, it's funny. At my job right now, everyone signs up for the holidays. We never have any lull in our holiday staffing because the incentive pay, people want to work on the holidays here. But I get it. What Sydney was saying is true. You know, the families think that they're missing it, but the people that are working there are missing it as well. And you have to lean on your team, lean on your coworkers.
Now, with our workplace, you have to bedside nurse. I'm speaking from a bedside nurse's perspective. And we work a major and a minor, which is still unfair because if you work Thanksgiving Day, you're off the Friday after, the Black Friday. If you work Christmas Eve, you're off Christmas Day and vice versa. So you're either on a team A or a team B. So I feels like that's unfair because if you're off one or the other, you can't have the whole holiday off if your family is traveling. So last year, I decided to call out. So with our policy at my workplace, if you call out on a holiday, they will put you on the next holiday. So at the time, I said, you know what? Next year, I'm going to be at another facility. I'm going to be at another place. So it doesn't really matter. So I called out Thanksgiving, spent the holiday in Virginia with my family, had a great time. I called out Christmas Day, spent the Christmas holidays with my family in South Carolina. So lo and behold, ask me where I'm at this year. The same workplace.
Same facility.
For Thanksgiving, I tried to have a different approach since I'm at the same facility with a new manager, a new director, a lot of new things on my floor, and they're really strictly enforcing policy now. They have added a policy, you guys, where if we call out around the holidays on your scheduled holiday, you will get written up. It's set in stone now. So I'm just not at a place to play with my job at this point in time. So I sacrificed and worked Thanksgiving and Black Friday and Saturday and Sunday. This time is very near and dear to me. But my advice to my listeners and you all as well, I had to change my mindset this year. I had to go in, entered it as I'm going to spend this time with my work family. I was able to FaceTime in the break room with my loved ones while my kids and husband had a great time at the beach. I was at the workplace, making it a good experience for my patients. I was going in, being chipper. I wrote little turkeys on the board, brought food. We had a potluck, and we just made the best of the situation as a team. And we celebrated ourselves, and we went to the different units to look and see what other people cooked and took pictures and just tried to take care of the patients on Thanksgiving and just have a little more joy in the workplace.
You said I wrote little turkey. So I imagine you went into your patient's room saying, listen here, little turkey. You're writing it on the board.
I had a turkey and said today, happy Thanksgiving. I am blessed and highly favored. And I wrote that on every one of my patients' boards.
So I'll say I was very spoiled through the holidays. This year I am casual. I work 1 to 2 days a week max, and I work only weekends. But because of my status, I only have to pick also like one summer holiday, one winter holiday. And one of the days they offered me was Black Friday after Thanksgiving. And I got super excited because I'm like, that's not a holiday. I would love to work the next day because I do remember those days as a new nurse working full time, and I was night shift. So my husband makes this amazing cookie-crusted ham. I married the right person. I cook because it's my role on the daily basis, but I'll be honest, I don't love to cook. So Thanksgiving comes around. I am assistant to the chef. I do the shopping. I sit around listening to music and hanging out with the kids, and whatever he wants me to chop, I'll chop. But He does the Thanksgiving cooking all day long. And I remember working night shift and having to sleep while all the fun was going on. The kids are making a mess. He's in the kitchen cooking. And I would wake up around 4 o'clock for my night shift on Thanksgiving Day. And it broke my heart so much because, first of all, the kitchen is like a bomb went off. Every cabinet, every drawer, every utensil, it's all out, all dirty. But this beautiful meal is always on the table. And I would get to at least have a plate before I would leave for night shift. But walking out of that door, man, it would break my heart. Everybody cozy in their PJs. You got to do it. You got to do it. Like Eric said, sometimes you don't got to do it, but sometimes you do because you might be that new nurse or that job is just not expendable at that time. Or you're at a smaller hospital. And, I was at a big one. So later on, I would kind of be a little more fast and loose. Like someone will fill my place. But even now where I work, they really need you. But I remember that heartbreak of leaving. Some of the things that would help me on days like that is we're going to pause for a quick moment to tell you about a special AMSN membership offer just for you through the end of this month.
Hey, med-surg Moments listeners.
We have an exclusive offer for you.
When you join AMSN by December 31st, 2025, using the code AMSNPOD,
You will receive $5 off your membership.
Visit amsn.org/join and be sure to enter AMSNPOD when you check out.
Okay, we're back. Some of the things that would help me on days like that is offering it up. This is my role to play. But also, night shift makes it a little harder because I think everyone's cozy. They're sitting down for a movie with popcorn and you're walking out into the cold. Anytime I just really did not want to leave my family, I would start thinking of it as like going to a sleepover with my patients. I would really play that up. I would get there, start doing some doodles on the boards, being really obnoxious to all my patients in a good way, in a chipper way. Maybe you got some big Christmas tree earrings, big turkey on your shirt. I would really tell them like, okay, we are on a sleepover. It's snowing outside or it's like a rainstorm outside. This is going to be fun. And I would tell my patients, we are going to have fun tonight in like a threatening manner. But really, if I thought of it as I'm going to go have a cozy sleepover with my unit, with my patients, it's a reframing game. But that's one of the things that I would do.
For me personally, it didn't take much of a pep talk to myself to be like, these people need me and we can make this a great day too. We're also super fortunate where I am. Historically, our census usually dips around the holidays. So the last time that I was scheduled to work Christmas, like I remember it was like the day or two before, and I texted the staffing office and I was like, have a bunch of people already put down for standby? And they're like, I don't know, but we can put you down. I was like, okay, whatever. Really low expectations. And sure enough, I got standby all day long on Christmas Day. So I was super, super lucky. But my advice that I would have for newer nurses, but people who maybe aren't married or don't have kids, is that I don't think you should feel obligated to work more holidays than people who do have kids. Because my first year as a nurse, I was on night shift and I worked Christmas Eve night and Christmas night. And that time I did feel quite miserable and just kind of threw myself a little pity party of like, man, I missed everything. So going forward, I did not do that. Everybody knows when you're working like hospital bedside nursing stuff, you're going to have to work some holidays, some weekends, like all that kind of thing. And everybody's going to do their fair share and they know what they're all signing up for, whether they have kids or not. So my advice is just don't put that kind of pressure on yourself to like take the brunt of the holidays just because you're not married, don't have kids and all that kind of stuff, because it's a special time for everybody with your own family or your friends or whoever it is, whoever your people are. So that's what I would say. But by the time you're hearing this, it's going to be too late. So plan for next year accordingly.
We have home surveillance cameras in every room and I can access them from my phone. I will open up the app and visit every room and I have my earbuds on and I will just pop in on a scene. My kids hanging out in the living room, my husband yelling at somebody in the kitchen, my teenager sulking about something in the dining room. I love it. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, it's like I'm there and then I go back to work. So I think something else that would be kind of just sweet to just, if your family knows you're going to be working that holiday, if they prepare I'm coming up with this right now. Okay. If you don't have cameras to jump into your family's life while you're at work, if they could just prepare like a little note for you on Thanksgiving or Christmas and you take them with you to work, and during your break, you just open those and they just say, "We miss you. Happy Thanksgiving," or whatever. Just a little bit of home that comes with you in some way.
That's awesome.
When you're a new nurse, you're so excited. You're like, oh, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to work. I'm going to do everything. So I worked every single holiday. And then by the 4th year, I felt it. I said, oh, you know what? Now that I have a couple years experience, I see my priorities. I was more excited. And then during the last time that I worked the holidays, I said, oh, I really miss being with anyone else but sick people. But I was like, I really need to just kind of re-look at the situation, reevaluate it. The week before the holidays, we were like at 45. And then as the holiday creeps up, our census is like 8. Like it super drops. Like they don't staff. And we were way overstaffed because people want to work it because the incentive. So at our facility, you have to work one of the major holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's as the major. But I do feel that from the new grads and new hires, I always feel like there's that excitement.
They sign up for every holiday and then like every bonus day, 5 shifts in a row. And Sam, you're right. Treat yourselves good. Come on. You work hard, guys. We already burn out even just at the bare minimum. Yeah, we don't gotta do that to ourselves.
Yeah, and be careful because the new grads are always the worst potlucks. You need the experienced nurses. Yeah, you know how to put a real potluck on. The new grads are going to bring the box cookies or the crackers or gluten-free stuff.
Once I went to the unit, I got sick of my pulmonary step down and they kept floating me to the COVID unit at the time. And I think I was pregnant and I requested a transfer to the COVID unit and people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, did you guys hear? You have 2 patients at a time on that unit. I'm going over there. So I went over there and 6 months later, we were med-surg and I had 6 patients for the first time in my life. But aside from that, it was a lovely little quiet time. I was on the pulmonary step down. So going to the COVID unit, these are patients that were COVID step down. They were starting to not need as much respiratory support, which is great because I'm like, okay, I'm an expert in this and I can definitely help you guys here. And I only have to take care of 2 people at a time. So it was the most fulfilling time. Everything you want to do with your patient, I was able to do it because it was kind of like one-on-one time with each patient. But the other blessing on this unit, and this is where I met my AMSN Chicago president who told me, hey, you should join AMSN. This is Cora Palmer. They had the best potlucks every holiday. I didn't even know what I was walking into. The specialty was sickle cell, so pain management. But there was a whole team of night shift nurses who had been there, including my AMSN president, almost 20 years. And on every other unit I visited or worked, we were all baby nurses. So it was so lovely to be on a unit with veterans. As a new nurse, you want that mentor. You want to hear experienced people talk about their expertise. And sure enough, like you said, new nurses don't know how to do potlucks. Once I came to this unit, the meals were incredible and it really did help the holidays. I showed up to like huge trays of Filipino homemade food and fried chicken. And I'm like, oh, wait, this is better than what we got at home. It was great. It was really fun. You think those things are not a big deal, but on the holidays, they really are.
I feel like sometimes some of those coworkers that are not feeling it, you can let them feel their emotions. I think it's okay to let someone feel a little bummed out that they're not with their family and don't try to force them to be happy. You've already got your patients. You don't need another one.
True.
Respect our boundaries, okay? Because we got to set boundaries, right?
That is so true, Eric. And I'm reminded of my coworker. She wasn't thrilled at all. She was unhappy. She was sad. She cried a couple times. But in that instant, I did realize how every one of us handles struggles so differently. Towards the end of the shift, she kind of was asking us, how do we handle those family members who put a lot of pressure on us as healthcare professionals to make those holiday dinners and to be with family? Once I lost my mom and my grandmother also my mother-in-law, it kind of took a different mental toll around the holidays for me. And being in the workplace, sometimes it can make me a little sad when I do see a mom and a daughter at the hospital and I'm at bedside and it's Thanksgiving Day. Having those emotions and being allowed to feel what you feel and being okay with it. Just allowing people to share their emotions during that time and offering them some help, giving new nurses the ability to have options, because you can ask a coworker, hey, I see you're off this holiday. Would you mind swapping with me so I can have 2 days off and you can have the next holiday with your family members? And if you have someone that you can swap with, don't be afraid to ask those questions, because those are things we can do as nurses.
Yeah, I think the only time I got, not a hard time for my family for working, but disappointment for my family for working was my whole family was getting together for Thanksgiving. And so I was like, well, I'll work Christmas. And then I think I had to work like either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or something. So I was like, all right, Thanksgiving is my one holiday I have off. And then I got COVID. So my one holiday I had off, I was by myself with my like DoorDash. So I was a little grumpy that year working my holidays. But I feel like it's really about the people that you're working with.
Before time runs out on this podcast, I have a burning question. Maricela, you said your husband made a cookie-crusted ham. Is that what you said?
Yep,
Crusted?
every year.
So what is a cookie-crusted ham? Like cookies?
Okay, yes, actual cookies. And he has used the same brand of cookies for like 10 years now. And this Thanksgiving, I waited to do the shopping until the day before. And I went to 5 stores. None of them had the cookie that we use every year. So it is actual cookies. First, it starts with kind of like a brown mustard layer around the ham. And then he puts cookies, ginger snap cookies. I guess I'm giving away his secrets, and it's actual blended cookie all over the ham. And it becomes this crunchy glaze. And yeah, we look forward to it every year.
I was thinking Tall House. They had a big old cookie ham.
You just invented something new. We're going to have to try it.
You guys can try it and let us know.
Yeah.
I worked on Thanksgiving one time and then I just went shopping afterwards. I worked day shift and I was like, I'll just go hit up a few stores before I go home. Like, what else am I going to do?
There's another way to do it.
Yeah, I used to do that when I did 12s, when I worked 7P to 7A. That was so much fun to work Thanksgiving. Then you just head out to Black Friday.
Well, believe it or not, we're just about out of time. But before we close, let's go around and have each of you share your biggest takeaway from this conversation.
Well, everyone knows it's the cookie-crusted ham for me, right?
That will cheer everyone up this holiday season.
I will send you all the pictures of my Toll House infused ham chunk cookies that I bring to the next potluck. Don't worry, you'll see.
I'm scared.
I'll just throw in here. It is definitely possible to still have a great shift and a good time working the holidays. It's all about the attitude and everything you bring to it. And hopefully you have a great team to work with on your holidays as well.
And I'll say for me, it would be definitely reframing your mindset, just reframing it to the point where you make it exciting, make it worth it, and your coworkers celebrate the holidays. To our listeners, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
We look forward to connecting with you on the next episode of med-surg Moments, the AMSN podcast.
In the meantime, we encourage you to subscribe to med-surg Moments wherever you listen to podcasts.
To reach us, use hashtag #MedSurgMoments on your social posts.
Or send us an email at amsnpod@amsn.org. That's amsnpod@amsn.org.
We are all AMSN members, and if you love med-surg Moments, we invite you to become a member of AMSN. You can learn more at www.amsn.org.
Finally, the content within the med-surg Moments podcast represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the co-hosts and may not necessarily reflect the views, thoughts, and opinions of the Academy of Medical Surgical Nurses.
Until next time, this is Eric,
Mary Tess,
Sam.
Calais.
Marcella.
And Sydney. And always remember, med-surg Moments is a moment in our lives and a moment in our med-surg careers that makes a huge difference.